Welcome to our review of the InMotion V14 Adventure. Now, some of you in our first impressions video weren't quite happy that we didn't test the InMotion V14 trail wheel on a trail. So here I am at a trail testing the V14 trail wheel. Let's do it. So in our first impressions video, we noted that the suspension was way stiffer than we thought it should be, and we thought there were some problems. Turns out there were some issues with the suspension. So our technicians at the service center lubed up the suspension rods, and they work quite a little bit better now. Still feel some resistance in them, but the suspension's actually doing its job. Here's a nice little challenging climb section that I liked. Yeah. It climbs pretty decently, although as somebody who rides a pattern frequently, it feels like it's holding back a little bit, like it takes a bit more effort to climb. I think it's like, it doesn't feel as if it has that much low end torque. While messing around with the wheel, I discovered the acceleration assist and braking assist settings, and I have them on full blast right now, and they work. This thing flies. The acceleration is super speedy. You can feel the pedals dip forward as the assist kicks in, but still it takes a second to initialize, and when you're climbing, it still feels rather resistant to your climbing force. All right, we have arrived at the trail. Now that I've conveniently found myself sitting on this log, I'll talk about the wheel a little bit. It's super nimble, super easy to throw around. Well, I think my point about the low end torque still stands. It doesn't feel as easy to get going from zero, especially when you're climbing a hill. Like that hill segment that we did back there took quite a lot of effort to get it to go up. So there's some torque that's missing there. I think it's quite a lot. It's a bit wider than the pattern, and at least for me, that makes it a bit uncomfortable to get around corners and like maneuver. I'm sure anybody else who really likes this wheel could get used to that. But one thing that's amazing about this on trails is the suspension. Now on the pattern, on some of these bigger drops, I bottom out so easily, but on this, no problem. I can just send it straight into the ground and it'll cushion my fall. Yeah, now that the suspension sliders are actually allowed to move, they do a much better job of cushioning impacts and blows. That being said, I do feel a little bit of stiffness there still, a little bit of resistance in the sliders. So it does feel a bit janky at times, but like overall, taking bumps, rocks, and drops, this suspension does it all. Maybe I've been riding the links too much, but the small 18-inch tire almost feels too nimble, unforgiving at times. Like it's too easy to just like dodge and weave and just lose. I'm going into a tree. Mud part. Oh shit. See, stuff like that is where the 16-inch tire, 18-inch tire fails. Because when I come down this section on the links, I have full confidence just going through. When it wobbles a little bit side to side, it's so stable, it just corrects itself. Now, I know some of you are going to say, that's a skill issue. And it probably is, but it just, having that extra tire diameter gives me more confidence to do stuff. Alright, I think that concludes the trail testing of the V14. I'm going into a tree. Saved it. Well, not the wheel, but myself.